Okay, so Bitcoin is showing some bullish signs in the short-term structures. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at. I'm going to show you guys how this could potentially unfold based on my own opinion and what we can be looking forward to, as well as potential weakness within the chart. Because we all know that we are in a historically weak month for Bitcoin, even within a bull cycle. This doesn't mean a whole lot, but it does overlap very nicely with some expectations I talked about in previous videos, including yesterday's, but I'm going to talk about it once again. But we are going to look at Mara stock first because, I kept warning you guys about certain price action and how it can unfold. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So I'm going to talk to you guys about what I'm looking at now. So it's all just my opinion. It is just what I'm looking at. I like to share it with you guys. It's very important everyone does their own due diligence. But in previous videos, I kept saying, and I've been saying this since back here, we gotta really focus, not let any kind of expectations with the bigger picture of, if we're going to go lower or if we're going to go higher. It doesn't matter. This support area that I've been keeping track of doesn't matter. Historic trades we had this year don't matter either, like strong buying, sell, buy, sell. We've been killing it, but we're also killing it within this short-term structure. So I'm going to break this down super quick once again, because it's very important that we all remember that. How do I get rid of this? Okay, there we go. So, I kept saying that every time we reach this support area for this sideways consolidation, it's an opportunity to sell shorts and buy longs, and same thing on the resistance, right? So selling longs and buying shorts. Now, it's been working out super well, right? Where we buy shorts, buy longs, shorts, longs. We had 3 opportunities to notice that the price is weak. We can't get any candles to close over this swing high. It's just the momentum is not there to push the price higher, at least not yet, right? And on top of that, there is a lot of macro influence. Like, it can be from Bitcoin, it can be from the S&P. A lot of this also backs up, and I'm not gonna get into too much detail. Maybe I can make a more detailed video about that. But everything just is pushing towards a continuation of this sideways channel. So here is what I'm looking at now, right? So Bitcoin and Mara are not completely correlated, but Bitcoin does influence Mara enough, especially when we are trading within these sideways channels. And remember, there's a pretty decent spread within here of 5% conservatively. So just keep that in mind. And of course, that can change with options as well. But remember, there was some weakness in Bitcoin. We weren't looking at any candles wanting to break short-term resistances. We were struggling to break up into the blue resistance area. Instead, we started retracing. This gave us, and it strengthened my analysis, where it's a good idea to start taking advantage of this area to buy shorts and using the support line as a take profit for those shorts. If any of you if any of you took advantage of that, congrats, because you made a really nice trade, as long as you set your limit orders to take profit at this price. Because look, it hit it, and now we're the market closed, and now we're at this price level. Post market's a little bit higher, but it goes again, right? There is no reason to be overly biased towards a certain direction for a price breakout when we don't have that price breakout just yet. We don't have a break of structure that's sustaining itself to either direction. So until that happens, why not take advantage of this sideways channel where support and resistance are creating super solid, simple trade opportunities, and these trades are lasting no more than like 2 days. This one right here, we had a lot of choppiness and a lot of like macro events consolidating the price a little bit. But like I said yesterday and the day before that, we're seeing consolidation within this area. No signs of a sustained breakout just yet. So chances are it's going to come down into support, and then shorts can take their profit, and then here we can start looking at, opening longs. So it's as simple as that. So now shorts are all closed out, profits are taken. If you were part of it, awesome. But now if you weren't, or if you were, it doesn't matter. There's an opportunity to start looking at longs, right? So as of right now, we are in a position where we want to start testing some long positions by, in my opinion, opening up some small longs, letting the price do its thing. We can maybe come down a little bit, maybe bottom out the RSI. It doesn't have to happen, but I would like to see that happen, for the price to come down a little bit more and actually break into the 14s briefly. That will be ideal, and it will be a much more attractive, like 1490, 1495 to start opening longs, for example, and then just letting it fluctuate before it builds up momentum to go back up to the top of this channel resistance to simply, close out those longs and take profit and then start looking at shorts. But regardless, as short-term noise, it can easily recover from here as well. I'm not saying, because excuse me, I'm not saying because I'm expecting the price to go up, we're gonna start going up like crazy. Like, no. The idea is to take advantage of these short-term discounted opportunities to open up some long trades, with the idea of not being greedy and setting limit sells to take profit at resistance. You see, like, it's as simple as that. Because once we're up here, chances are we're going to repeat what we're seeing here until the market finally gives, or until the stock finally gives us a reason to think otherwise. So as of right now, again, the analysis is holding. My analysis on this has been holding continuously really well, and we're continuing to get these great trade opportunities. As long as Bitcoin in the short term is also showing some strong momentum, which I'll get into in a moment, it could influence Mara to come up and break that 0.5 at $15.68, trading over the 120 moving average once again. There's not much else to it. It's that simple. Sideways channel, support and resistance. We're trading them, and it's as simple as that. So right now, no more shorts. We hit our target to not look at shorts anymore. So now we're looking at longs. It's as simple as that, right? So now, my expectation, regardless what happens throughout this last trading day of the week, it does not matter. It will be ideal for no one to hold Mara over the weekend, in my opinion, because trends could change dramatically over the weekend. It's very possible that we can just open up on Monday and we can be above the 0.5 and into the premium section of the sideways channel. Is absolutely possible, but just wait. And if we are up here, great, we can start looking at shorts. If you miss out on a long, we're looking at shorts. It's better to miss out on a long trade than it is to, be hopeful and the market's already closed. If any of you were paying attention to this and you sold shorts, or you accumulated longs right down here before the market closed, then you're pretty much set for a pump potentially tomorrow. It's as simple as that. But if you're not part of that, if you weren't paying attention to this, to tomorrow this way, and you didn't buy any longs, it's better just to wait till Monday to open up new trades, right? And just watch the chart, let it do its thing, and then participate when the opportunity presents itself once again. But as of right now, regardless of what happens in the short term, tomorrow and over this weekend, the idea is that we hit support, shorts are closed, opening longs, and the idea is that we're going to look for low $16 to take profit, roughly 16.20, to take profit on those longs from down here. So we're just continuing the simple trade that we've been looking at for this whole time right here, right? So I'm done repeating myself on that. For now, we can look at it again tomorrow. So now with Bitcoin, right? And this is the bullish setup, right? Because I'm not saying this is a bullish setup to all-time highs, but this is a bullish setup because we still have, out of current prices, to reach. There's a lot of, if you guys look at, I mean, there's over 5%. If you look at the liquidation heat maps on major exchanges, you know that anywhere from 114 to 120, there's some really, really good resistance. So this is a really, really good bullish setup to take advantage of capturing that liquidity up there, closing out short-term longs, and then from there waiting to see if the pullback will be healthy enough to hold a higher low. Ideally, right? So if we go up and we're following up with a retracement, quite simple. The idea is that we're trying to see if the retracement will hold as a higher low support for us to crush the rest of the blue and then start testing resistance within these value gaps up here, which can act as a potential magnet, but it can also act as resistance. So it's very important to focus on position sizing when that opportunity presents itself. But as of right now, this is why in the short term, this is actually quite bullish. Now, I'm not saying that we're done here and we're just going to start going a lot lower and never recover. No, the idea is that before I go into the short term, the idea is that we are still within this downtrend, not just here, but here. See, we're in this corrective move. We haven't maxed out the red support area at all the way down to 106.177k. We don't have to, but it'll be nice to see this area fill because that will overlap with the short-term deep value area below 107k. This is an incredible last-minute opportunity for accumulating longs for anyone that just procrastinates on it, doesn't want to accumulate. I think Bitcoin is amazing below 115,000. I think it's great under 120,000. So this will be like a last minute opportunity for anyone that doesn't accumulate, in my opinion. I just personally think this purple area anywhere below 107k, ideally into the 99ks, into the 90s here will be a super quick recovery out of it, and it will be an amazing short-term deep value opportunity to take advantage of. But as of right now, we don't have to reach it, but we are, as we're still within this downtrend, there's no reason for me to think otherwise that we won't, regardless if you guys look at this right here, I've been following the price higher. I'm always keeping track. I'm always looking at this. But what this allows is that we came down. I've been keeping track of the price with a simple retracement from this whole move right here. And the price found support perfectly at the 0.618 retracement at 109.311 K. And now it's starting to go up higher. So quite simple. And I'm not going to leave this on here because it's too much to look at. But we can still go up a little bit more. If we can break 111.4 K and actually close above it, it'll open the pathway up to really going up into this overall resistance area. And then from here, in this resistance area in blue, which is very important, there's gonna be a lot of FOMO at that point, but it's a very important area to understand that the closer we get to 120k, we can see a quick dip, a quick recovery potentially due to the amount of liquidity around the area. I would just be following the price higher. The idea is to see if we can go up, however high it goes, go down into this estimated support area, hold a higher low, and then start going up. The moment we break the swing high, wherever that's at within the blue, any swing high within the blue, if we can come down, hold a higher low, and break it, that'll be incredible. Like to the point where I would just be invalidating the purple area, and instead we can actually start looking at the next target area of 128k, which will be great, right? So that will be bullish confirmation, breaking any swing high created within the blue. Now, if we do hold that short-term resistance I had here a moment ago, if we do hold that and respect it and come down, break the swing low, chances are that we can potentially come into this purple 107k and below. That will be fine as well, because the opportunity to accumulate at those prices sooner rather than later will be amazing. Because the sooner we can potentially go from green September to red September and actually accumulate within a red September, well, the amount of value there for an amazing trade, in my opinion, a long trade will be incredible. But as of right now, we are holding supports. So far, we're in that short-term resistance. So the idea is that we're just testing it. If we can break it, which most likely we could, the RSI is starting to set up to see if it can let the price go up higher. But the idea is that as long as we don't get rejected by the short-term resistance, again, as of right now, this is what it looks like. We're close to the top of it. So if we can break into 111.4k, the idea is that I'm looking for this blue area to be reached, potentially overnight, maybe tomorrow. But the idea is that then over the weekend, we can see if we're in the green or this blue before during the weekend, we can see that short-term volume decrease, and it can make it a lot easier for bears to take over and then have that one more low into the purple, or at least back into the red. To me, that's a great opportunity to accumulate, but it will validate the red September opportunity before we go into the green months towards the end of this bull cycle, is how I'm looking at it. At least I'm still holding on to that 75k IBIT position. I will show it whenever I make a transaction on it. Right now it's pretty much flat post market. There's not really anything to show, but I will show it once again when I actually do something with it. But I'm still holding on to the 75k position, and I do plan on adding more soon. I just don't want to add more unless we're within the purple. If we go up into the blue, there's a possibility that I may shave some shares and lock in some profit, and I'll show you guys what that looks like if that happens. Because I would rather decrease the position size within the blue, because the probability of us coming down back into the red is high. And then I would like to lock in some profit in the blue and then reaccumulate it back within the red, and then add more than 75k, potentially another 5 to 15k. I don't know, bring it up to over like 80k invested, maybe 90k into it. Would be awesome, because again, we're just within a corrective structure right now. I know it feels like this is taking forever, but this is super healthy. The longer we're within this corrective structure without seeing any short-term like weakness, which we're not seeing any signs of a bear market starting, it's just extremely attractive opportunity. And we're obviously, I mean, I believe it's super obvious we're not in a bear market, and we're actually still in a bull market, with 128k being the next target area, potentially leading up to 136k. But yeah, that's basically my opinion. Once again, Mara stock. Yeah, man, if you guys took advantage of shorts up here when I was talking about it, congrats. Now it's a time to start looking at longs. I mean, if you already did, great. If not, you're probably better off just watching it over the weekend and then looking at where the price is at within that channel next trading week. Now with Bitcoin, once again, it looks like we're gonna crush the. Oh, actually, we're seeing some resistance, so we could potentially. This doesn't mean. Oh, actually, no, we did crush it. Look, we're actually above it, and we closed the hourly candle above it. So yeah, it's high probability we'll just go into the blue sooner rather than later. But again, just because we're seeing this momentum go up into the blue does not mean we're going to start crushing numbers and going to all-time highs. We got to keep an eye on overall retracement. So if we break the swing high and go into the blue, I'll give you guys an overall retracement for a potential higher low. And then we'll keep an eye on that to see if we're going to end up invalidating the purple and just start going up higher sooner rather than later. And then, of course, we'll see what happens. But as of right now, due to the liquidity walls in the heat map, chances are there's high probability as well that we can actually max out this blue area instead of finding a top in the discounted portion. But time will tell. We'll see what happens. I'm not too concerned about the short-term noise. What I am more interested in is capturing some profit within the blue and then reaccumulating within support areas. It's as simple as that. And then invest more aggressively with like BitU, once we actually get bullish confirmation that this correction is finally over, and then capturing some decent upside up to the 128k target area. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Hopefully this video made sense, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.